Hey young world, the world is yours. Be curious, seek answers, adventure and fun. Live and exceed all your expectations. Don't be deterred by the challenges. And for the grown folks, as Damian Marley reminds us, shine your light so a child may follow. Be their go-to person, be their north like a compass, as many have lost themselves along the way and they just need some direction. I'm Theodore Henry and I'll be your chief navigator for today's magazine. Please stay for more.
The Electoral Commission of Jamaica, ECJ, has extended the validity of all voters' IDs. Yes, I said it. All voters' IDs are valid until December 31, 2019. Businesses are being asked to continue to accept voter ID cards as a valid form of identification. Don't worry, the ECJ will continue to process new and replacement ID cards until the new expiration date. For more information, call toll-free at 1-888-991-8683 or email eojinfo@eoj.com.jm. The Electoral Commission of Jamaica, committed to free and fair elections.
We start off with a look back at the top news stories that made the week.
Hi there, I'm Simone Wolf with your JIS News of the Week. Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark told Parliament on Tuesday that the country had recorded a significant decline in its poverty rate for the 2016 calendar year when compared to the year before.
Just for the sake of emphasis, Mr. Speaker, the rate of poverty, the incidence, fell from 21 to 17, and that fall of 4 percentage points represents a 19% drop in the incidence of poverty, which must be considered good news for all Jamaicans. The rate of poverty, Mr. Speaker, in 2016 was therefore the lowest since 2009.
Meanwhile, the Planning Institute of Jamaica reported this week that the country is projected to witness baseline economic growth in the range of 1.5 to 2.5% in the April to June quarter of this year. This is coming off a 1.2% increase in real GDP for the January to March period.
The growth projection for fiscal year 2018-19 is within the range of 2% to 3%. The prospects for growth in the near term are positive. For our part, maintaining focus and discipline in our efforts to facilitate stronger economic growth is key.
Earlier in the week, the Bank of Jamaica reported other positive news, saying there was a 3.2% inflation rate for April 2018, lower than the 4 to 6% previously projected by the bank.
Inflation was lower than the target, mainly due to the sharper than anticipated decline in agricultural prices since January this year, reflecting the recovery in agricultural output.
The security forces say there has been a 72% decrease in murders in St. James since the start of the state of public emergency on January 18.
We are seeing a decrease in all major crimes, except for break-ins. The work has just started. I think we have to continue. We want to ensure that, we change people's attitude to law and order. That's how we're going to get a very safe community.
On Tuesday, the Justice Minister made his sectoral presentation in Parliament and announced that government had successfully settled all judgment debts due at the end of the 2017-2018 fiscal year.
All matters submitted from the Attorney General's chambers were paid up. And indeed, Mr. Speaker, up to Friday last week, Friday the 18th of May, we were able to pay up all the settled debts, 56 of them, paying over 78 million. So we owe nobody anything.
Ground has been broken for the construction of 2 high-dependency units at the St. Anne's Bay Hospital, one for maternal and the other for neonatal care.
It's a holistic approach to supporting the infrastructure in that we're going to see critical equipment, ventilators, incubators, oxygen, head boxes, and all the critical infrastructure that supports the intellectual capacity. So we're getting a full-service facility.
This week also found the Health Ministry receiving 150 fully equipped midwifery bags donated by the European Union. They will be given to the regional health authorities to aid in the delivery of newborns and postnatal checks.
We're grateful, we're happy, because it is assisting us in our commitment to meeting those Millennium Development Goals 4 and 5. It's allowing us to demonstrate our true intellectual capacity and potential from the training that we have received.
More children with disabilities will be able to find space at the Stimulation Plus Early Childhood Development Center in East Kingston after recent expansion works. The upgrading work was done with nearly $76 million in funding from the Inter-American Development Bank.
The most important thing we can do in today's Jamaica is setting our youth on the right path, right? There is no cost that is more important.
And finally, thousands of Jamaicans answered the call to ramp it up and fix it up as the country observed Labor Day on Wednesday. Kicking it off was a floral tribute for national hero Sam Sharp. The Prime Minister and other government officials meanwhile built ramps to improve access for disabled persons at the Cumberland Road Health Centre and the St. Anne's Bay Infant School, this year's 2 national projects. The various parish municipal corporations followed suit, leading teams of volunteers in upgrading and beautification work at other schools and health facilities. Other groups pitched in to enhance public green spaces, de-bush sidewalks, repaint road markings, and a range of other projects to beautify the country.
Government has taken steps with the new building codes to ensure that all new buildings, and indeed buildings that are being retrofitted and upgraded, that they must put in place ramps. I have given the directive to the NWA that all the new roads that we are building, where pedestrian access is granted, that ramps are placed there for the disabled community.
And those were some of the stories making news this week. I'm Simone Wolf.
Want to know the law pertaining to renting a house? What about the procedure if you're arrested? Or what is defined as corruption? Then click on the Ministry of Justice website. It has information on every law passed in Jamaica. The House of Parliament portal also has the more recent year's pieces of legislation. The sites are easy to search and the files are downloadable. Make access to justice your business. Know your rights.
When the reward for customer service training results in bountiful rewards for you, your business, and customers, there really is no cost. Here's one organization's effort at improving stakeholder relationships.
Good customer service is the foundation for any successful business. As the government moves toward creating a more efficient public sector, strong customer relations will help to drive this transformation. The Jamaica Customs Agency, JCA, as a service-oriented organization, is taking a proactive approach to enhance the quality of service delivery to customers, partners, and stakeholders. To accomplish this goal, the agency is undertaking a series of customer service training workshops from October 2017 to February 2018. The JCA kicked off this series with the launch of their Customer Service Excellence Training Program on October 2, 2017.
Achieving customer satisfaction is a primary objective of the JCA. Striving to maintain quality customer service and adherence to established service standards are key components to achieving success. At the end of this training, we shall have greater understanding of the importance of customer service and to apply it to our daily work.
To carry out this initiative, the agency has partnered with an organization known for training excellence, the Tourism Product Development Company Limited, TPDCO.
I truly recognize that all the training one participates in cannot change a person unless the individual wants to change. Attitude, therefore, is very important. I therefore encourage the participants to go into this training with a positive attitude and be open to receive the information.
The extensive customer service program will, in the first instance, see 800 employees at all levels being trained in various areas of customer service. More employees will receive training in the next financial year.
The training will incorporate telephone etiquette, communication skills, how to effectively communicate, as well as conflict resolution. You know, of course, we're border protectors. Not everybody is happy when they hear about have to pay duty and all of that. So some persons can get a little bit upset sometimes. So we need to ensure that our officers know how to deal with these situations when they arise. Everywhere that our officers are, they will be exposed to the training.
Employees are looking forward to the training opportunity to improve both their professional and personal skills.
I'm excited to be here on this training. Engaging in a course like this would help us to offer better customer service, and we can be a better people serving the nation.
The Jamaica Customs Agency is committed to providing good customer service. By equipping their employees with high standards of professionalism, good work ethics and positive attitudes, the agency will become a standard bearer within the public sector.
Stand up and get in the race.
I can become the master of my destiny.
Step up your stride, make we work like a harder. Do it like Veronica, more than a supper.
We can rise above the challenges and shine.
Was with passion in your heart. Make a plan and stop all the idling. You think I saw? We reach a beijing. I can, you can. Like our Olympians, every Jamaican can.
We've been saying it all month long. Affirm me. Affirm him, affirm her. Be an example, a motivator, a friend. Be that picture through which a child can visualize and build his or her future. Let's continue to affirm our children beyond May. Take into your tomorrow, months, years, decades from now.
How many is that? 20. All right, so of my population, we have strongly agreed. So let's count up all the persons who agree over here. Count 10 plus 2, 12 persons agreed. Everybody understands what was taught a while ago about interconnection?
It's important that our teachers ensure that we understand the work so that when we go home, we can be able to study it on our own so we can get better grades or good grades on our tests so that we can get something good. It makes me feel very happy to know that there is a teacher who might tell me if I do not understand.
Assurance means so much to our children. It's motivation for them to perform at their very best, even right here in the classroom. And my little friends, Miracle, Alyssa, Rihanna, and Latanya will agree as I ask them this very important question. Why do you want your teacher to make sure that you are learning?
Because in our future, we'll have to get some good careers and it will mess us up. For instance, if you're going to be a chef, you got to learn what ingredients to use and what to not use.
As Miracle said, it will interfere with our future if we don't get a good education or not. So It is very important for our teachers to teach us so that it doesn't interfere with our careers and our future.
Affirm me that I can learn.
What do you want from your teacher?
Like her attitude supposed to be good. So if I say I don't understand and she's doing it over and over again and she's like been making up her face, I like her to work on her attitude. Well, I would like her to work on the way she explains it, because it would be nice if they would go a little slower and go through it with us so that we can get to understand it properly. Affirm me so that I can learn.
Thomas, you heard the students. They say they want teachers to explain more to them. They want them to don't speak too soft or too harsh to them to make sure that they are learning. What do you say to that?
First and foremost, I do believe, like the children, that teachers have to be patient. And even though somebody may be a very good student in one subject area, they may not be a very good student in another subject area. And secondly, explanation is part of the curriculum.
What are some of the things that you do? What are some of the methods that you use as a teacher to make sure that your students are learning?
Some students understand quicker, some don't, so we can pair them up with those who don't understand, because sometimes peer learning is better than even us explaining. But I find that they understand better and they understand longer, so they remember longer when they work on it themselves, and it is the same for us as adults. So the confidence that they have help them to develop and want to learn more, even if the topic is something that they didn't like in the first place.
It is good to know that you have somebody that you can go to that is willing to help you to understand what is being taught. Affirm me so that I can learn. I feel good when my teacher gives me good comments on my work.
Like, keep it up, good job, and those are some compliments that will motivate children as they go on in life.
I will continue to affirm my students that their learning benefits them.
Affirm me that I can learn.
This week's Saturday Soup is the perfect descriptions for my Monday mornings. Yep, the dreaded day after the weekend. It's same one. Well, that's the day dysania finds my bed. And no, dysania isn't a pet or a person. It's the state of finding it hard to get out of bed in the morning. It's the lack of joy and the presence of laziness, tiredness, and just stress. Dysania, not the best spice to add to your Saturday soup, but definitely a good addition to your vocabulary.
Keep we island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it. Keep we island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it.
No dash no paper, no dash no plastic. Dispose your garbage responsibly. No know how to recycle, learn it quick. And if you drop it, better pick up every piece of it. Plastics last forever, don't forget the bits. Cause when them touch the street, them end up in the sea. Collect pan the reef where they fish them feed. And when you want seafood, I eat your
Keep
eat.
the island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it. No dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica.
We're just about inching out of the GSAT era, but its mark will remain for decades to come. as it peddled initiatives much like this one, which supported and encouraged scholars to persevere and excel as they started each new chapter.
It was a time to relax from the pressures of GSAT studies and exams. These 20 students were all successful at the 2017 Grade 6 Achievement Test and have moved on to different high schools across the island. As children of Urban Development Corporation UDC employees, they were treated to a fun day at the corporation's Pearly Beach attraction in St. Anne. The occasion was also used to recognize the hard work of the students, who were awarded grants of $10,000 each towards their education. The youngsters were very appreciative and already anticipating greater achievements.
I'm going to continue being confident in my work and strive for the best that I can do.
I'm looking forward to go on the leaderboard at my school.
I am really thankful for the opportunity to have fun before I go back to school.
As added motivation, UDC General Manager Dr. Damien Graham encouraged the students to be bold in the pursuit of their dreams, despite the struggles they are likely to encounter throughout their lives.
You will go through difficulty. You will go through struggles, but you have to be patient to allow yourself to endure those struggles. What you're being asked to do in taking on your next step is to prepare yourself to give more and to come back and pay it forward.
And Dr. Graham called on the parents to instill confidence in their children.
One of the most amazing things you can do for your children is to inspire them with confidence every day.
The UDC's annual GSAT Awards started in 2007. After the formalities, the children, along with their parents, were treated to an afternoon of fun. Pearly Beach is perfect for corporate events, weddings, parties, and special occasions, and is available by reservation to create your own unique experience. Interested persons may call the St. Anne Development Company at 974-5015. To learn more about the work of the Urban Development Corporation, call 656-8031 or visit their website at www.udcja.com. You may also follow them on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram, or visit their information center on the ground floor, Kingston Mall, downtown Kingston.
You can save the earth. All 40,075 kilometers of it. Sounds like a big job for one person, don't it? But it really isn't if we all start with our given radius. Here's one way to start.
We call ourselves the Earth Guardians.
And they have a mission to fulfill.
We have to be protectors of the Earth.
The philanthropic team of Sandals Foundation's Earth Guardians took the mission of reducing single-use plastics to 12 Caribbean schools on May 23. It was Earth Day. The theme, the aspiration, was to end plastic pollution. Coronel de Primary in Montego Bay was among the 6 Jamaican schools visited by Sandals Earth Guardians. 2 years ago, the NSWMA started a pilot plastic bottle recycling project. Earlier this year, the Prime Minister told Parliament and the country that government was supporting a private sector-led plastic bottle return system. And now, from one of the island's prominent private sector members.
As environmental stewards within the tourism industry, we feel it is a need and it is very imperative for us to visit the schools here in Montego Bay as we create much impact and to share the knowledge on how it is important to sustain our environment.
The Earth Guardians from Sandals Royal Caribbean and Sandals Montego Bay handed out reusable bags and water bottles to students and teachers of Coronalde Primary.
We distributed over 450 plastic bottles to the students, and I'm sure it will go a far way, and this is the first step in making a difference as we ensure that our students continue to use this plastic bottle rather than the disposable plastic containers that they have.
These students received much more than that. They also got information on the harmful effects of plastic pollution.
You look inside, you'll see lighters, you'll see corks, and you see plastic bits and all these things which are not biodegradable, meaning that it does not break down. So because it doesn't break down, it just stays and stays for hundreds of years, it stays for long, and this is just one of the many effects of pollution.
And they even receive tips on how they can put plastics to good use.
And there's the last picture that we have on the screen, water sprinkler. So if you can't afford to buy the one that to hold on the top so that it doesn't use the water when you're there, it's not in use, you can put a little bottle on the nozzle, bore some holes in it, and definitely there is your sprinkler.
We sought to educate our young minds because they are the future leaders.
To the children that are listening, we are the ones that can stop the pollution and better our environment as we try to decrease the dangers and everything that the plastic pollution causes to us, because it is very, very dangerous and we need to take caution.
We must start somewhere, because it really has gotten out of hand, and we appreciate this move that you have made and you coming here this morning to help to strengthen what we have been saying to the children, teachers and the parents.
The Disabilities Act will protect the rights of all persons with disabilities. And here's a great teaching moment. Every person with a disability, like a deaf or hard of hearing child, for example, has the right to an education with accessible facilities and the support they need. In this case, it would be a teacher who can use the language of the deaf, which is sign language. Visit jcpdja.com. A message from the JCPD, an agency of the Ministry of Labour and Social Security.
In closing, allow me to affirm you. Rise up, be wise, be smart, make your mark and show us how you're doing on our social media pages. We want to be part of your story. Keep pushing, keep going. We here at the JIS are looking out for your successes.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.